Hello everybody, this is the video I've been hyping up ever since Chapter 5 came out. It released the 18th, so yeah. But I recorded all the background footage before that, so let's get started. Now, if you saw my Puppy Playtime 5 stream, which I'm sure most of you saw my video, not the stream, where I was more hostile. So today I'm going to discuss those, which is why it's called a rant video. I said that whole sentence wrong. Note this real quick. I know at least one person is going to say, oh, Markiplier hated it, so you hate it. Oh, Joe Bart hated it, so you hate it. Don't worry, Joe Bart. I heard your opinion. Oh, Queso said it because my opinion came first. Mine was day one while I was playing the game. Now let's start with the pros. Pros and cons. That's the video. Pro number one. The prototype's design. I understand he should be scary, and an ex-member on Twitter said he was supposed to look more like Catnap Shrine, but I love his design. It's really cool. By the way, 50% of the pros list is just things I called, like Kissy's death, Gadget, the wrong side animal being cutscene from the trailer scene where he punches you and the camera goes fuzzy from my trailer analysis video. Pro number two, Harley Sawyer makes sense, because in Chapter 5, after you kill him, he says, you saved me. And before you kill him, he says something about, I'm going to bury myself deeper in the facility. Why my country? I'm going to bury myself deeper in the facility, where the prototype can't find me, not where you can find me. Or something like that. Pro number three, the Huggy flashback and chase. I understand Queso and Mark's POV. I have a clip screen recorded. I've screen recorded clips to show what people think, and then I'll give my opinion. But here's the clip.
Sorry to cut you off, Mark. Go ahead.
Here's a cool set piece. It's now it's happening. Now is this fun. And it doesn't matter if that set piece is interesting. I liked the aesthetic of that a lot better. It was random. Why was that there? Just to be an obstacle. That's it. It didn't have any...
True. That point right there in Puppy Playtime is also a big thing. There's a whole lot of stuff there that's just to get in your way and burn time. There's a whole lot of stuff in the game that is specifically there just to take some extra time.
Now, I actually liked the flashback sequence. Sequence is spelled wrong. Now, I actually liked the flashback sequence because it was fun. I liked playing as the monsters inside the canon game. Not like Project by Daylight or Dead by Playtime. I don't know what the game is called. Something like that. But with the chase scenes, I know we get chased a lot, but I like to think of it as like a bully who you knocked out, even though he was supposed to knock you out. But he woke up the next day, basically out for blood and wants you dead. That's how I see Huggy this whole chapter. It's funny in my eyes. Now we're going into the cons. Crazy how I only had 3 good things, not counting the stuff I called. Con number one, the puzzles. Queso and Mark, I have a clip of them talking about their thing.
You're either running from something or doing a puzzle. You're either running from something or doing a puzzle. That's what you're doing. But Resident Evil, it's like there's.
Now, I don't really care about chase than puzzle, but at least make the puzzles interesting and fun. Make them worth playing the game. I shouldn't have to. I don't want to scream while I'm doing a puzzle. That's not the point of a puzzle. Con number two, Doughy. You can't convince me Doughy is dead. Once we froze him, we mildly crushed him. Or no, not crushed. We mildly squished him. Squished. If we crushed him with the hydraulic press, he would have shattered. You know why? Because it's a frozen solid. Imagine an ice cube. Put it in the hydraulic press, see what happens, it shatters. Plus, he speaks right after he supposedly dies. Con number 3, the main goal. Here's a clip from Queso and Mark.
This is chapter fucking 5, right?
'em.
I should know the motivation very clearly. I should know where I'm going. I should know why I'm going to it. I should know exactly what the character motivations are. That one guy couldn't tell you.
My question is, I agree. What were we specifically going for? What was the player's motive to keep going? Chapter 1, it was find the flower because we got a mysterious note from whoever. Chapter 2 was get to the game station because Poppy had the code and it would let us escape, leading her to lying. Then in chapter 3, it was I can't let you leave. Oh wait, no, that's Poppy speaking. I can't let you leave. But if you do this quick thing, I can let you leave. Wait, isn't this the plot to Iron Lung? Anyways, Poppy says we have to revert to gas. We have to revert the gas to get the orphans. Or get to the orphans. Then chapter 4, Poppy says, I gotta go save Kissy. But you gotta find the specific person. And we meet Doughy. And we gotta get the Omni Hand to power the safe haven and blow up the foundation. I don't remember why we had to blow it up. I'm pretty sure there is an actual reason, but I don't know. Then the prototype steals the bombs, I guess, and blows up the safe haven. And then we get blamed for it. I don't know. This whole entire con is going for way too long. But the main point is, I couldn't tell you the main goal of chapter 5. If I was the player, I would just want to die at that point. I have gone days without food, and I've been running from monster toys. There better be a food mechanic in chapter 6. Why do I always mention food in Poppy Playtime? Anyway, was our main goal to escape? Was it to find the orphans even though they were dead? Was it find the prototype or something? Because Giblet finds us and he's like, oh, you know Poppy is safe haven. It does nothing the rest of the chapter. And we find this giant city like a back alley from One Shot with all the outside moles. But he should have been introduced as a cutout and then a bigger role into chapter 6. We shouldn't have seen him in chapter 5. We should have seen him as like a cutout. Like a preview, kind of. Con number 4. Lily's death. Why did I write he? She should have died a better way. Her hair was made out of horse tail and bones or something. It would have been cool to set her on fire or something. But nope, we gotta crush her with a metal cloud. That's it. Con number 5. The hype. I feel like this doesn't count whether or not you like the chapter. They'll always hype the games to get people to play it. So yeah, this con doesn't count. This doesn't count. Why did I put this in the script? Real con number 5, Chum. He had 2 teasers, I think. And in my opinion, he was a bigger character than Giblet. Giblet? He's a double agent that works with us and the prototype. I forgot to call him by his nickname, Chud Chunkins, or Chud Chumpkins. That's what I like to call him. Con number 6. The future of Poppy Playtime. How many toys are there? How big is the factory? How are we going deeper and deeper? If we're going to chapter 8, at least we should start going back up, I believe. This company started in insert date here. And then the Hour of Joy happened, and 10 years later, here we are. How is it fully intact? How is it not demolished? They're complaining, oh, we don't get food in the safe haven. But we're going lower? And the safe haven's like at least 3 or 2 layers deep into the Earth's core or something. I don't know where we are. Once they're done with Poppy Playtime, they better go back to previous chapters and add at least one of the plushies or toys in somewhere. Like a Dog Day plushie dead in the corner of the game station. I'd be happy with it. I don't really care though. That's kind of picky. I don't care. Con number 7. The Poppy Gel. I don't know why I added this one either. I think I was confused at the ending and the gel. By the way, how did some of you think the prototype picked up Poppy and put her in the gel? I'm genuinely curious because I see why you think that, but it's one of those things where it's obviously wrong. The Poppy Gel was teased a lot. I don't think we have enough info to talk about it. But why is it some kind of like Resident Evil clicker bulging orange substance that he specifically throws us in? And why is there different versions of the cutscene in the file? And why is there different versions of this specific cutscene in the files? It's the movie files. You go to Poppy Playtime, Chapter 5, Content, and then Movies. That's where you find it. But, like, at least give us a small detail about it. This is, like, Con 7.5. Or no, it would be, like, 6.5, because the last one didn't count. It's just something I'm kind of mad about, but I understand it. The light source, Globy. I figured out his name after I played the whole game. It sucks. We did not need our Grabpack taken just for some terrible flashlight. I understand, ooh, scary game is dark. But I like seeing things. Leading to the next con, number 7, 8. I'm just going to go with 8. Lighting up objectives. In the beginning of every game, they put this thing around every single note, door, tool, VHS. They'll put this thing called cell shading. Why don't they put it throughout the whole game? Now they do it with notes, but why not the lever in Lily's basement? It took me at least a minute or 30 seconds with help from my chat to see it. Because it wasn't cell shaded. I go to leave, then I see it because it's in my peripheral vision. I turn around and I'm like, oh, it's a lever. Wish I saw that. Con number 9. No direction in chases. I'm pretty sure there's a clip of Mark and Queso complaining about the chases. Here it is.
As soon as you die, it loses all of its value.
That's the truest thing I've literally ever heard in my life. That's literally the truest thing. When you die 18 times to a chase sequence in a video game, at that point it's just making you mad and you lost the anticipation of the chase and the scariness of the chase. Because when you have absolutely no idea where to go, the chase ain't even like thrilling or scary anymore. At that point, you're just fuming mad, just wanting to be done with it and trying to find out where to go.
I agree completely. Specifically, Lily's chase. You see Kissy running and think, oh, we should follow Kissy. Boom, you're dead. The correct way to go is the area Lily blocks off with her hair, so you couldn't go there until you move her out of the way. I made this mistake 3 times on stream. Con number 10. How did the prototype fit in the safe haven hallway? Now you might be thinking, oh, it's a shadow. The whole entire corridor is the same height. How did he fit? He's about the same size as the subway station that we jump off of. It's like the area where we get stabbed. How did he fit? How? Holy, I have to read all of this. Con number 11. The magnet head walls replacing the swinging hooks. If you don't know what the swinging hooks are, here's a picture. I use this for reference in my full gameplay video. Not the stream, the gameplay video. I'm gonna add con number 12 into this to turn it into one big problem. The conductive hands should be brighter. When you get the fire or ice or the energy thing, now that might be my issue because I played during the day with glare, but I do have glasses. But that might just be my personal problem, right? And to put these two together, I should add that Poppy Playtime shouldn't add a new mechanic in every single game. I'm not talking about changing one hand. That's fine. I'm talking about 3 different hands in one chapter, a new battery, and magnet hand walls. Now everyone has to get used to that when swinging is much better than disobeying gravity just because of magnets or whatever. Another thing, Mob Entertainment has to remember that co-workers used to use these things to get into work. Bendy makes more sense regarding the backstory. Man makes machine, that makes demon, and demon makes ink realm. While Poppy Playtime is co-workers use grabby hands to get into their office and experiment and etc. etc. And it's just basic indie horror, kid inside mascot suit, which I get, FNAF does the same, but I like new FNAF, because in the world of quote-unquote haunted robots, how is a rogue AI that's made to mimic things just now the main antagonist? I'm not hating on FNAF, I'm not hating on old FNAF, I'm just saying, how is the mimic now an antagonist before William Afton? Back to the topic. The Grabpack makes no sense to the backstory of Poppy Playtime. Like, okay, I wrote this whole entire section. I'm gonna read it, but you could skip, like, press the skip forward button like probably 3 times. That should be good. Like, you have to scan your blue hand to get into lunch, and you're standing there switching through your yellow hand, your green hand, conductive hand, jump hand, etc., etc. Now, I might be over-exaggerating it, but how would I over-exaggerate what's going on for FNAF or Bendy or Ultrakill? But that's because it's according to their universe. Poppy Playtime is more on the realistic side somehow than other than those. I might be going too far, but in my eyes, it doesn't make sense. Imagine an employee giving you a tour through Playtime Co. And he has to break glass to pull a lever, put a battery in, scan the redhead, and oops, there's a rope on the door. He has to use his flare gun to shoot the rope and burn it. I'm probably milking the topic to hate, but I actually like Poppy Playtime. I think it's cool. We just never actually had a deeper look into the backstory. Yeah, so I wrote that whole section. I think I was just like really mad because this thing is holy. It's probably as big as like, I don't even know. But that whole last section I said, I don't really mean it. Because, like, some of the stuff, like the rope with the flare gun to burn the rope, that's definitely after the facility. That's definitely after the facility closed. I don't know. I don't know why I added it. Don't worry about it. Is this con number 13 now? I don't know. I lost track. Reminder, I took out 2 to 3 cons out of the kindness out of my heart because they didn't seem important to me. They didn't seem to make sense. Bobby Bearhug and the Wrong Side Animals, I think. In chapter 5, there's a cassette tape. That's Bobby Bearhug talking to Giblet about being a pussy, about tying survivors, and before they're interrupted by the prototype. Now, you might be saying, why are you mentioning this? If you go into the orientation book, it says, the bigger body version of Bobby Bearhug, dubbed Experiment 1186, was created in November 1990 to interact with the children in play care. However, there were issues in the process of her creation. Bobby showed lack of awareness of her surroundings and did not respond to auditory stimuli, indicating a distortion or total lack of sensory function. Bobby also could not speak despite being able to move her mouth, and she could not keep her balance when she stood up. It was indicated that she would need to return to surgery to fix these issues, which I'm positive these issues were never fixed. If you don't know what it meant, Bobby can't talk or walk. How does this cassette tape, how does it exist? Now, you might be saying, oh, it's the mini toy smiling critters. The captions would say toy. They say toy in the safe haven when you're talking to the mini critters. If it wasn't actually the bigger body of Bobby Bearhug, why would they put the name? Why would they even put the full name? They could make another book, put it up to date, but they haven't said anything about it yet. Not to mention the bigger body version of Catnap has captions saying Catnap. Because in chapter 3, when he says, leave play care, it says Catnap, meaning it's the bigger body version of him. So Bobby has to be the bigger body version of her if it's mentioning the full name. Last and certainly not least, this one makes me, I just love it. The prototypes parts. How did he get Catnap's fur? Look at this video to see what we did to Catnap. Look, he has fur. Now continue. Look, zoom in. Do you see any fur? He clearly had fur before we burnt him. It might not look like it, but with these screenshots, which I don't know how the quality is going to look while editing. So how did the prototype get Catnap's fur and put it on himself? Is Poppy Gel secretly a hair conditioning for the toys? Now that might be a minor key detail. The prototype could have given, he could have gotten the mini critters and plucked their fur out and put it as a coat or something, but I highly doubt it. Let's look at Kissy's arm on the prototype. Here's the picture of the prototype. Now let's go to the point where she lost her arm. I understand there's some fur on it. Half of it is charred. How do you not remember this? This was 10 seconds before we see Huggy. You clearly remember Huggy at the end of the chapter. Now, the prototype could have cut off the charred bit and then added a mini toy Kissy Missy arm to the big arm. But that's just too much work. There's no way he actually did that. And that isn't. So we clearly see Mob doesn't know what they're doing. Proven by 12, 13 reasons because I took out some. If the editing is bad, I'm sorry to get you hyped. I'm my own editor. I edit my own videos, so that's why. But yeah. Oh, man. That was a lot to read. Hey, we got it done in 24 minutes? The old video was 41 minutes. That's crazy. Look. I got it done in like 25 minutes. It's 25 now because I'm talking. But damn. So that is the reason why I did not like chapter 5. Half of this was stuff I complained about during chapter 5, and then half of it is stuff I realized right after. Like the Bobby Bearhug thing. I found the cassette tape. I in the stream, I found the cassette tape and I was listening to it. I was listening to Bobby Bearhug talk. I'm pretty sure I said, isn't she disabled?
It wasn't supposed to be like this. Don't be a coward. You know what they did to us. Okay, what did these people do? Huh? They work in the warehouse before.
Bobby Bearhug was like, oh, okay, here it is.
They work in the warehouse
I thought Bobby Bearhug was like blind and disabled. Yeah, I thought Bobby Bearhug was blind and disabled because she's not. I guess not. Yeah, those are all of my reasons. Reasons for treason. So guys, that is going to be the end of this video. Remember,